It's time, everyone. It's time. Are you ready? If you don't know what this is, I made it over the summer after draft 3 of Gas Station. And it's essentially the entire plot. It's broken down by the event and then 6 different POVs. So like, what was everyone's motivation for what thing? I think it's actually mostly accurate. Now that I'm in, I would confidently say draft 8 is where we are actually at. October, I finished draft 4, and then I rewrote the beginning, which I would consider draft 5. Then I did like a pretty intense edit of the second half, which I would consider draft 6. And then this intense line edit was draft 7. And now we are on draft 8. That is how I'm categorizing it for the moment. You might think of it differently, but that's where we're at. So I'm going to erase all of this. I think I probably mentioned this in my last video, but if by chance you're stumbling upon me, girl, I don't know. But I'm writing a thriller. Right now it is out with a paid beta reader, which I'm just not thinking about that somebody's reading it right now. So I'm in this space where the book is not completely done. I still need to hear from these beta readers and see if there's any feedback. It's kind of like a gut check beta reader. Like from my end, the book is done, but I just need to see and make sure that it resonates with people well. And if there's like little things I need to change. I am gonna be doing query stuff now. So I'm gonna write on these, I'm gonna use these whiteboards to write down essentially like a final boss checklist of everything that I have left to do with this book. I've been writing my query letter for 17 years. No, it's on a draft 2 to 3. I went through it, like I got an initial like vomit of it. That's disgusting, but you know what I mean, with Brielle. Every time I've made significant progress on this query letter, it has been like literally sitting and talking it through with somebody. I don't know, that's just like where I'm at right now. So I did that, and then I kind of formulated it into general rough paragraphs. And then last night, my friend Cameron is also preparing to query a book right now. That's the one I beta read. And so we just kind of did a workshop on my query and hers, and it's feeling better. Now I think I'm down to line level things. But I don't know who to give it to next, because I know that there's the Pub Tips Discord, or I'm sorry, Reddit. I just like don't know who the next step is. I can't decide like what order do I want to go in. I saw this person, did I talk about this person who got a literary agent in 16 hours? And I said, they were saying that they just like would revise a query and then send it to another person and then revise it and then send it to another person and then revise it. And so just like keep on going in a circle, just like forever, just like keep on individually sending queries, you know, until you start getting like contradictory feedback that's like super niche and line level. But I'm nervous, I'm excited. But I don't know like what order should I go in? Like I don't want to get bad advice and take it and then go to like, do I go to the most experienced person next, or do I wait to go to the most experienced person, like somebody with an agent? Do I wait to go to those people until after I've gone through a bunch of other people? Maybe I just ask a bunch of people and whoever gets back to me first. Also, I'm not done with the book. I mean, okay, I am. It's with beta readers right now. 3 of them, and I won't hear back for like 10 days on that one still. And so I really do want to have like my materials ready, because at this point, I don't think the query would change. The synopsis maybe would, but even that, like, I really don't think there's going to be changes. I mean, there's going to be changes, but not changes that change like the core pitch of the book at this point. So I'm tempted and like have this query letter be like really almost done, or do I wait until later? But I kind of want to, I don't know, I want to get this query letter as good as it can be. There's one sentence I just added, I need to finick with it a little bit, and then maybe I'll ask some people if they would have time to look at it. I guess I've already gone through it with 2 people. So I'm just gonna, like, literally the whole world is gonna know the entire plot of this book by the time it gets to it. Maybe I don't know. I have a rough, I don't even know if we could call it a synopsis. Frankly. I have one that I wrote in January, but I don't think that's accurate to the plot anymore. And then I wrote it, but my work computer is what I was writing it on. And my keyboard is so bad that half the words like aren't even spelled correctly. And it's not by my own fault. It's by the keyboard, okay? This is the tea about writing query letters, is that all of the sentences are so long because you have to get so much information in so little time. And I've been reading a lot of pub tips, query critiques, and all the people in the comments are like, you need to explain more of the motivation, like more specifics of the motivation and more specifics of the goal. And I'm like, I get that, like we want more specificity, but then the sentences have 18 commas in them, 18. Hi, I thought I would update you. I worked on my query letter with Meredith last night. If you are looking for great feedback on anything, Meredith has a Patreon. One of her tiers, you can get like 10 pages critiqued, or you can get a critique every month. Highly recommend. That is a steal. She's so smart and talented and brave and wise. Anyway, so I've now gone through it with 3 different people. So it's time to update the board. And I have another person I'm sending it to today. It's going fine. So I've already done draft 1, draft 2, and I would say draft 3. I've already worked on it with Cameron, and then I'm gonna add in Meredith here just to cross something off, okay? Discord will be in a moment. I don't know if I'm gonna do Reddit, so I might replace this with another person, but I think technically, I don't know. I also don't know if I'm gonna do a paid edit, but this is just like person 5, person 6, you know? And all these people who I'm giving it to, I feel are very qualified to give query letter feedback. So yeah, that's how it's going so far. Terrible. Well, it's actually fine. It's just query letters are so hard because I gave it to Meredith thinking like, oh, I think it's pretty decent. And then she was like, so here's 18 things that might be confusing. And I was like, and then we worked through them, but now I'm like, okay, did that fix it, or did it make it more confusing in a different way? Which I think, so I'm still following this strategy of this person on Instagram, of just editing it and then sending it to another person blind so that they can like see if it makes sense for them, you know? And then once the edits start getting smaller and smaller, then that's when you can kind of, you know, but all the people you can give it to have to be qualified is the other problem. So we'll see, but that is how it's going. I'm gonna like look over it quick this morning and then send it to another person, so. Hi, it's me, Alyssa. Okay, I don't think I've updated you in a minute. I've gone through the query letter with 4? Yep, 4 people. I think it's really close. It's now getting very like wording and nitpicky. The suggestions are turning more like less and less from I'm confused about this and more to this would be interesting to add if it makes sense for the book. Like for example, somebody talked about like more so just asking questions about the book and then being like, if that applies, it might be good to put in the letter, but most of it doesn't. And I really feel like it's getting to a place where you can obviously change things, but I think right now the letter and the stakes like really represents what happens in the book. And what I don't want to do is write a query letter that like might be everything you need to be a successful querying author, but it doesn't actually represent the book. Like I don't want to add in like up the stakes more when those stakes aren't what the book is about. You know, like I want the letter to represent the book well, while still of course having all the elements that it must, right? So I did that. I'm feeling good about it. I don't know, I might be done with it. I might run it through 1 or 2 more people. I'm really debating putting it on Reddit for the moment, for the vibes, but I don't want the people on Reddit to get in my head. this video because I think my query letter is done. I feel like anything else, I mean, I could piddle. I could piddle with wording. I could piddle with details and voice, and like I could piddle, but it does what it needs to do. I think a mistake I maybe have made in the past with query letters is making changes to the letter to make it like seem more marketable, and it doesn't actually reflect what the book is. It's technically true. Like for example, for the wedding season, I've shared that query letter on here multiple times, and it works. But I don't know if the tone of the letter and what the letter focuses on is actually what the book feels like. And so I think that maybe has something to do with why a lot of those requests are turning out as no's. There's lots of reasons that could be. But if you read the query letter for the wedding season, you might think it's like a very like murder mystery detective, like DJ solving crime, like, ooh, like that is the vibe. That's actually really not what the book is about. Technically, yes, there are 3 murders and 3 weddings, but it's more so, it's very, like I have said this before, like Gas Station is darker at some points, but it's funnier. And the wedding season isn't very funny. It's voicey, but not as much as this one is. And also it doesn't really focus on the murders that much. It does, okay. I don't mean, like, there's still hope for this book, honestly, for the wedding season. But I don't, like, I think that the query letter presents this, like, super marketable, like, murder train book. And the book itself is a little bit quieter than that. It's more so about her, and she's in this relationship, and, like, the person she's in a relationship with, it's all intertwined and framed by these 3 murder weddings. But it's more about her finding herself and managing all these people coming for her for different things and getting wrapped up in this rich family and this drama and this murder, you know? So nothing in the query letter is false, but I think it gives an impression that's not entirely true to the book. In comparison, I think the letter that I have right now really does. It sells the pitch, but it also sells what actually happens in the book. You know, you live and you learn. Like, I think the book itself stays closer to its themes. When I write a book, I know the pitch of the book at this point because I'm going for trad pub, so I'm going to pick a marketable concept. I'm going to pick one I'm passionate about, but it's also going to be marketable. And so I pick, like, my concept, my pitch for this book is like in high concept, it's a bank robber and a hostage negotiator fake date each other for information. That's the high concept, 1 sentence elevator pitch of the book. And I actually feel like the book, if you're going into the book wanting that, that's what you're gonna get. Whereas sometimes it's easy for a book to take a lot of directions. Like I could tell the same book with that same concept and go a lot of different places where maybe someone reading it for that reason wouldn't. Like there was a version of this book where the robberies didn't happen on the page. And then it's like, okay, well, I wanted this book that had bank robberies, like where are they? Now, like I stuck to the pitch and I actually delivered what the pitch is in a way that feels very genuine to me and the type of storytelling that I do. And I feel like the voice is really strong and the voice matches the voice of the book while still doing all the things a query letter needs to do. And I have been recently looking through and like making my query list on Query Tracker. I sort by thriller, go through the list, and I look at all of their profiles and I see, like I go on the website and their manuscript wish list and kind of see, and if there's an agency, I like look through all the agents who represent thriller in the agency and decide which one is the best one, and then I add them to a query list. And then this time I've been making a note. You can do that in Query Tracker, like a personal note. So if they have, oh, I want books that feel like Finley Donovan is killing it, I mark that because that's one of my comps. And so that's one of the things I've been doing. Yesterday I found one who, she said specifically she likes tropes like fake dating, and she also likes like blending romance and thriller. And I was like, sign me up. Hello, hi, it's me, Alyssa. So I note if there's something specific, but I will still add, some people are super vague. They're like, I represent thrillers that are twisty. And I'm like, okay, sure. Okay, but some people say they represent thriller, and then if you look at the comps, they are thrillers, but it's like they want really like eerie, spooky, dark, a shadow in the woods. So yeah, I've been making my query list, and there actually have been quite a few that feel like my book would be a good fit with them. I feel really good about the pitch, and I actually feel really good about the book as well. You probably haven't seen, you haven't seen this video yet, but I did get my beta reader feedback, and of course there's things to adjust, but I'm gonna be querying pretty soon. So, and I'm feeling really strong and solid about the pitch, and I'm gonna say that with my full chest. I haven't been saying that because I've been like, well, then it's gonna be awkward if I get no requests and months go by and you still hear nothing about querying because nothing's happening. But I feel like it's strong, and I'm excited to query it. Will my heart be crushed completely? Yes, but that's okay. I saw somebody saying like they have an agent, but they were talking about by the time they queried a 4th book, and this will be my 3rd book I'm querying. By the time they queried a 4th book, they didn't even get excited about full requests anymore. They didn't get excited about anything anymore. And I get it. And I've also heard, I think Lindsay said this, and Lindsay Puckett in her last video, about it's easiest just to pretend there's nothing going on. And I totally agree with that. I just pretend I don't have fulls out because otherwise I will think about it all day. But I think that there is a middle point between letting every rejection consume you and then like not getting excited for full requests at all. Because I think about when I started querying my very first book in, wow, was that 2022? Yeah, fall of 2022 is when I first started querying. Good Lord. And that book got 2 requests total. It got a partial and a full, and I got so many rejections. I didn't get that full until like June. Like I'd queried for 7 months. And I was just thinking like, I'm not good enough to even get a request. Like I'm so far away. I would think to myself, like, I can't wait for the day when I'm even getting a lot of requests. Like I can't wait to be better than I am right now so that I can get farther. Like I can't wait for that. And now I am not quite there yet, but I am that person that like I'd always wanted to be, where it's like I got a lot of requests and I got a lot of really kind feedback. Like, I can tell like it is a clear and definite shift from my first time querying to this time querying. And if I can't get excited about that anymore, I can't get excited about growing into the person that I had hoped to become, that feels so sad to me. I think I would rather be not totally crushed, but crushed by rejection to be able to feel the joy that comes with the full. I still want to have that joy and that emotion, like that emotional connection to my work and to where I'm at. But I also don't want it to crush me. Like it's such a fine line. And I still go into every query email that I receive thinking it's going to be a no, because it's just easier to think that than to think maybe it'll be a yes and then it's not. I just hope that I don't get to a point where I feel nothing about this, because it is so important to me. Wow, welcome to the end of the querying the query prep. That is like a little sneak peek as to what you're getting yourself into with this querying vlog that hopefully you will see soon. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a feature-length film. If you don't know, since querying my 2nd book, so I don't have footage from the first one, but I have been filming a querying vlog that will be posted when I sign with an agent. It's not every time something happens, but most of the like every time. Actually, honestly, I think every time I got a request, or every time, or like right after, and just kind of documenting how I feel, the ups and downs. There are a lot of ups and downs, So I am filming that, but like this kind of introspection is littered in that vlog. So that's, I guess, a little querying update. I have 3 fulls out still. And one of them recently, I didn't ask this, but somebody who got a full at the same time as me had emailed her and like for a follow-up, like, hey, it's been 3 months. And she, on Query Tracker, there's comments. And so she commented and said that this agent responded to her and said, I think the standard for fulls now is 6 months. I honestly probably won't hear from any of those people for months, or even there's one that I understand that you're busy, but a year and a half? I could meet someone, get married, and be pregnant with a child by the time I hear back on this full. That is not probably gonna happen. Maybe. If I have a baby before a literary agent, I'm very single, I'm gonna be, I mean, honestly, that would be great, but like, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, anyway, that's the end of the query prep vlog. If you guys have any questions about query prep, like what the heck I'm even doing, what is going on, how it's going, like, just let me know. Let me know all your questions. Drop me a, wow, I cannot for the life of me come up with an emoji. A pen, drop me a pen emoji down below. I'll see you so soon, bye.